And on to our next. We're on an adventure. I think we're on a boat. Our camera's a little... Yeah. Okay. We're on to another Smaltz beer. It's from the Smaltz 12 pack that I got when it was on sale. This one is Hop Mana IPA, so we have another Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Check out this Christmas tree rating. It's dry hopped with Sentinel, Cascade, and Citro. 6.8%. I always love beers more than 5%. So I drank Ice House for a long time because it was 5.5%, I think, or 5.2%.
I don't think I've ever had an Ice House.
Really?
Really?
Right. Have you had a Killian's? Killian's Red? Irish Ale?
Yes.
That was like the first beer I got into. Was not the first beer, but the first beer I got into. So let's give this. Is there an IBU on this so we can be prepared?
I was looking. I didn't see. But of course, you know, it could be giant letters and I could miss
Backwards. Magic. Work your magic. No, it doesn't have an IBU.
No. Don't worry. Little Christmas tree.
You'll see it. So the last one was a 7.
Yeah.
So.
This smells like a Christmas tree.
No, it smells like it's gonna be more than a 7.
Yeah. All right.
12 days of hoppiness.
Oh.
That's at least a 9.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Whew. Whenever it gives you that sour, like you got
Not
like,
quite truly chewable, but it's right there at the biting into.
Whew.
I'm glad there's only like 3 because it was basic a 12 pack, which is 4 of each beer, and there's 3 styles. Or is it 3 of each beer, 4 styles of beers, and a lot of the schmaltz that we've had have been the IPAs. Like I said, I wish I knew why so many IPAs were coming out. Like I said, it must be because they're easier to make or something. Hipsters. I got hips. They don't lie. Shakira told me that. So our next talking point is going to be the ending of Game of Thrones.
We're like a week behind on stuff, so just so you know.
2, at least.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do this last week.
Yeah, but there were some incidents.
Yes.
So we're catching up.
Yes.
Did
you like the end of Game of Thrones? Because I actually watched it. I watched the last 2 episodes with my wife.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
Okay.
But I have been looking at some recent information coming out, and basically what they're saying is if you were surprised by it, you didn't pay enough attention to the first season.
Okay. What does that mean?
Which means they said there was an emphasis on Bran becoming a leader. So I want to go back now.
That's why they just threw him over the top and broke his back in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, you know, because
that's when I quit watching it. It was like, oh, incest? We'll throw the child around.
Yeah.
He'll have a broken back.
Yeah. So, but that did lead to a really good hero's arc for Jaime Lannister, because he was like an evil,
Jaime Lannister
asshole.
is that the one who was with
Cersei?
Cersei?
Yeah, that's
her brother.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't kill her, did he?
No.
Okay, I know. The episode before the end was it? What's her name? Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
She went crazy or whatever, and angry because her maid got killed by. And so she took the dragons and burned the city down.
She burned the entire city down, which they had been telling her for so long. And even she was saying, she was like, I can't rule the ashes, basically. I need the people on my side. I want them to love me.
Yes.
And she accomplished that. They gave up. They were like, okay, you're queen. And then she was like, no.
Because she, instead of just taking it out on the one person who did it, I'm going to burn this down.
Yeah. Make sure you bleep that. So
I didn't say it. I said,
but I mean, yeah, she went nuts, and then she followed that up by we're gonna go here and we're gonna tear it down, and we're gonna go here and tear it down, and everybody was like, bro, and you snapped.
Snow was running around saving people, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen.
Yes.
So,
what do you think about? Because he had to make the tough call. That was the only way it could end. I think she was looking at the Iron Throne, and he was just like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
And then the dragon was like, what?
Yeah. And they kind of, because Tyrion had said before, in a couple seasons before that, he was like, some people think dragons are more intelligent than men. And they kind of proved it there because
dragons are such true creatures.
Yeah, he was like, well, you killed my mom, So
I'm gonna let you walk by though.
nobody's, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody kind of has this idea that the dragon knew he was a Targaryen, and so there was this kind of like bond there. But the fact that he was like, well, if she can't have the Iron Throne, nobody can, and he just melted it right there.
Burn that sucker down.
Yeah. So
nobody can sit in it.
Yeah.
Because a throne means so much.
Yeah.
Made of swords.
You don't need a throne when you're constantly in a chair being rolled around.
What did you think about? See, this is the thing that my wife didn't get, because in one episode they killed. I think it was the one before they killed somebody, and she was like, "Well, they killed the imp," and I'm like, "So, short guy, the greatest actor of the whole series."
Yeah. Well, I think he's the greatest actor of our generation. So.
Yes. But then
Tyrion.
Yeah. Yes, and she's like, I was like, so Tyrion's dead? And she's like, why do you say that? I said, well, that's when an imp, usually back in the Middle Ages, they would call an imp a short person, or, And she's like, no. And then she heard it in that final thing when they said that, and she's like, I guess you were right. And I'm like, yeah. But don't you love it? He gets thrown in jail, and then they like ask him for his advice.
Yeah.
And at the end, he's like handing out the places. Well, you're the master of coin. And the titles they gave each other was just like...
There was some questions about that, because, I mean, I saw the Onion Knight. I saw why he was the master of ships, because he was a smuggler. Yes. He knew how to sail. He knew all that. That was fine. That was perfect. But a lot of people were questioning the master of coin.
Yes.
Because in one of the episodes, in a couple seasons before...
Something about a loan or something.
They had to explain what a loan was to him, So...
And then he was gonna do it for a brothel or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't the one guy who was sent away, and he was to a monastery or something, and he had to learn how to read.
Sam.
Yes. And he was made master or something about
made,
reading, and they're like, how many times have you actually read?
Well, no, he knew how to read. He knew all that. He was really smart. He went to the Night's Watch because his dad had no love for him.
Okay.
He was like, you will never be the lord of... Because his dad was the lord of whatever castle. He was like, you'll never be the lord because I don't like you. And instead of going out and hunting and learning how to fight, you spend all day reading books. Okay. So he went there and he became a maester. They had to send him off to the Citadel, which is where all the maesters are, to become one. And then he became the Grand Maester for the
Grand
kingdom.
Maester?
Yeah.
Not a master, but a maester?
Yeah, the Maesterator.
Maesterator. I didn't say it.
But there were some questions on that, too, because his family was dead, so he basically was the lord of his land, his wherever his dad ruled at. He was also a maester. He was made Grand Maester. He has basically a wife and child, because he has this woman that he's with, and they've got this kid. It's not his kid, but they've got a kid together, basically.
Yes.
So there was a lot of questions on that, like, because maesters aren't supposed to have.
What did you think of the end? Because I know they sent, part of this whole thing was they were mad at, the Targaryens were mad or furious at Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Because they know he killed Daenerys.
Yeah.
And they wanted to kill him, didn't they? Mm-hmm. They didn't want to just pull him. They were like, you killed our queen.
The Unsullied, her army.
Yes, the Unsullied. Which are the castrated from what Wendy told me. Sorry, that would be like harsh. You're going to cut my stuff off? And then I'm supposed to defend you and love you.
Well, she didn't do it.
Yeah, I know she didn't. It was the Targaryen way or whatever.
No, it was... she went to buy this army from a slave city.
Okay.
And they were slaves, and basically they cut their junk off so that they would have no focus on being married or finding women. They would
no sexual,
solely be killers.
Soldiers.
Yeah.
Like the Clone Wars and Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're straight for the killing.
Yeah. So
they send him to the Night Watch.
No.
Jon Snow. They sent him.
Oh, yeah.
They sent him to the Night Watch. I was like, I know what I watched.
Yeah.
And then they opened the gates, and then I guess they gave to the open territory where you had the choice.
Yeah.
To the north, to the undiscovered country.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I was kind of happy with that.
You can drink faster too, because I'm almost gone here. I know it's Christmas tree-ish. Yes.
I was kind of happy with it. I was upset that he didn't become king because they had been kind of leading to that.
Yes.
But I was kind of happy for him because his whole thing throughout the whole show was like he knew he was good at killing people, but he hated doing it.
Yes.
He despised it. And he kind of got, to me, he got his retirement. He was like, okay, I'm not king. You sent me to the Night's Watch. I'm going beyond the wall. Nobody's going to come after me.
That's what Wendy said in the first season. That's what they did. Is that was for whatever he did before, they sent him to the Night Watch. That was the punishment.
Well, he was a bastard, so he could never become Lord of Winterfell.
Okay.
And that's why he went there. He was like, I have no future here, so, there I can do something. So.
Okay, what about, was it Arya?
Arya, yeah.
Arya. What'd you think about her? I mean, she just sent off to discover, there was talks at one point of doing an offshoot into what she was going to do, because she was the badass. She killed the Night King.
Yeah.
I think she almost came close to killing somebody else or something.
She went after Cersei.
Yes.
And the Hound was like, listen, if you keep going, you're not going to make it out of here. Just go.
What do you think the deal was with the next to last episode, with everything was getting burned to the ground, and they said there might have been a subliminal at the time with the horse?
I was questioning that, because the horse kind of came out of nowhere. It was this white horse. So
people were talking about it being maybe a form of death or
that's
something.
what I was thinking. I was like, she is killing these people, Her whole thing was, what do you tell the god of death? Not today, And this white horse, this pale horse comes out of nowhere, and she rides it out to safety. And it's like, are they saying she's death? She's the god of death? Or,
She did kill the Night King.
She did. So
she could have been. But I think it'd be interesting if they would have went with the whole beyond with her. Even Jon Snow in the Beyond of the North.
Yeah. I don't know. That would have been, to me, it would have been a boring series with Jon Snow, because my feeling on him is he's got a cottage up there, and he's
gonna Tony Stark it.
Yeah, he's got a cottage. He's got his wolf with him, and they're just gonna chill out for the rest of.
That was kind of cool seeing the wolf all mangled. That's what Wendy said. Is like all the Starks got a wolf, and his is the only one that survived.
No.
Was there another one? Is there two?
There was another one that survived. It was Arya's wolf.
Okay.
Namira, I think is what her name was.
Okay.
She actually ran into her when she came back to Westeros. She was on her way to Winterfell, and she got surrounded by a pack of wolves, and she thought she was going to fight her way out. And here comes her giant direwolf, and she kind of looks at her, and it kind of growled at her for a second. Then it realized it was her, and she's like, "I see you've made okay for yourself. I'm going to go my way, you go yours." And they just kind of separated. So
okay, so we kind of got cut off a little bit at the end of there. You were finishing up Arya, and she saw her
direwolf.
Her direwolf.
So there was, like you said before, you said there was only one that survived. It was Jon Snow. So we know hers is out there.
Okay.
But
so that's what I was asking you. Were you happy with the actual ending?
I was. I felt like everybody got what what they wanted. Like, Jon never wanted to be king. He got to go, like I said, to his retirement.
Yes.
The only thing I was kind of ticked off about was, what's his name, Bran?
Yes, being the king.
Not that he was the king, but the fact that the dude can see the future. He knows what's coming up.
He should have known that.
He should have been like, y'all are fighting over this fact, and just want to let you know, in the end, I'm going to be king no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, so
that was one of the things I read. It was like everyone. It was a play on Tyrion, and it was just like him scoffing at everything, and Bran was like, "It's okay. I'm the king. I see the future anyway."
Yeah.
So, why do you think people got upset? Do you think they were upset of a certain thing?
I felt like they were expecting Jon Snow to be king, or for Daenerys to be queen.
Okay.
Or them to be
a happy ending.
Yeah. And, they were expecting that payoff because there was all that build up to that. And then at the end, it was like, nope, sorry about you, it's Bran. So,
yeah. This is what you get.
Yeah, so I felt like that's what people were kind of upset about. But, like I said, this makes me want to go back and rewatch the series and focus more on him.
Okay.
To see, because they're, like I said, I've seen a couple articles where it's like, if you were upset about him becoming king, you didn't pay enough attention, so.
Okay. So overall, you were happy.
I was happy.
It was okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was the only way it could end from the limited amount I saw. So the first 2 episodes, I saw the last 2 episodes, and my wife kind of filled me in the rest.
And the other thing too is, like, no matter how it would have ended,
somebody would be pissed.
Yes, nobody's going to be they're not going to have 100% happiness from the audience.
What do you think about the prequel? I think the prequel's silly because you already know how it's going to end.
Well, they're going back Well, there was two things I heard. They were either going to do Robert's Rebellion,
Yes.
which happens right beforehand, and I think that would be interesting to see. The events leading up to his rebellion and the battles and that. But like you said, how it's going to end. He's going to win. So
Yes.
And then there was another thing that said it was going to take place during like the Heroes Age, which is like way before. So that I could see being really popular because, I mean, even though how it ends, maybe hundreds or thousands of years later.
Yes.
Having
Hundreds
stories,
of thousands of years?
No, I'm saying hundreds or thousands of
Okay.
years later. You're going to see these new stories and.
Okay. That's it for the Game of Thrones, and we'll be back.